This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Second stop on a three-city road trip, and tonight game number one of a four-game series. We're in San Francisco. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. And with Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball. Should be a very entertaining series. Good pitching matchups. It starts tonight, and the Cardinals need a good start from Luke Weaver.
Luke Weaver, I think it's unfair to put the onus on a young pitcher by saying, just go out there and give us a good 6 innings. I think if he thinks more like 7+ innings, it's a lot better off because it's extending him past that 6-inning onus. If he ends up pitching 6 innings, so be it.
Season numbers there for Luke Weaver. Then on the other side, the right-hander and the former Red, Johnny Cueto. The Cardinals have seen him a bunch. The Giants haven't seen him since late April. When he has started, it's only been 5 games this year. He's coming off the DL tonight. It's a .84 ERA. So the matchup starting tonight, Luke Weaver, Johnny Cueto. Tomorrow, John Gant against Derek Rodriguez. Derek, by the way, Pudge's son, the Hall of Famer. Carlos Martinez, Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija coming off the DL. And then a real good one on Sunday, Jack Flaherty and Madison Bumgarner. We're in San Francisco. It's game number one of a 4-game series. Is Yadier Molina headed to D.C., the All-Star game? He should be. More coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Sling, live TV you love, only better. AT&T Park in San Francisco, one of the great settings for baseball. The Cardinals and the Giants, game #1, all 4 games starting tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. In San Francisco, it's the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 over the recent trip to Arizona, and it's beautiful here. 62 degrees. Game time temperatures in Arizona were around 107, so a drop in temperature and a beautiful setting for baseball tonight.
Inside there, outside here, and couldn't be happier to be outside with this view of Oakland in the background.
Take a look at the Cardinals lineup with Matt Carpenter at the top, followed by Tommy Pham. Then Yadier Molina moving up to the 3 spot. Marcell Ozuna, Jed Jerko, Jairo Munoz, Colton Wong, Harrison Bader, and the pitcher batting ninth, that is Luke Weaver. There's Johnny Cueto, makes his first start since April 28th. He's dealt with right elbow inflammation. Missed 63 games, so essentially about 12 starts. Did have a rehab start last Friday, went 4 innings with AAA Sacramento.
Madison Bumgarner, the ace of the staff, who will pitch on Sunday, missed, 3.5 months or 3 months out with a broken pinky on the left hand. So they had their 1 and 2 guys out, but they are back for the Cardinals in this 4-game series.
As is the case when we come out here to San Francisco, Cardinal fans make this trip as well. One of the beautiful and great settings in all of sports, and certainly in Major League Baseball, AT&T Park. Our key drive to success with the Cardinal leadoff man Matt Carpenter against the Giants. 35 games, hitting close to 400, a 445 on-base percentage, and he has completely turned his season around.
Where he was a month and a half ago is just unbelievable what he has done. He's been all-star caliber over the last 2 months.
And the first pitch taken for a ball by Carpenter, and we are underway. Game 1 of the 4-game set The Giants and the Cardinals. Matt Carpenter actually leads the Cardinals in home runs with 15 from the leadoff spot, and you'll notice that Cueto will quick pitch every once in a while throughout our telecast tonight.
He's got quite an arsenal, this guy. I mean, think about that. He has not been out on a competitive mound in the major leagues since April 28th. So it's kind of understandable that he throws 3 straight balls.
And the 3-0 pitch to Carpenter.
Boy, he just goosed that ball up there.
82 miles an hour.
That was his fastball, a 3-0 fastball.
That at 84. You know, there was talk that, and everybody around the organization thought he would have Tommy John surgery, and he rehabbed himself back to this start this evening. Dr.
James Andrews in Birmingham suggested that he rehab it instead of being operated on. Well, that ball way inside. You don't see Matt Carpenter do that often. Have a check swing on a ball that far out of the strike zone. Something's wrong with Cueto right now, I'll tell you.
Just doesn't have the velocity on the fastball.
No.
And a 3-2. And he missed down and in. Leadoff walk for Matt Carpenter. The Giants defensively around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Hansen, Hernandez, McCutcheon in the outfield. Sandoval, Crawford, Panic, and Belt on the infield. And Buster Posey is behind the plate.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is help him out. That was a slider off the plate, but you got to make him throw strikes.
1 ball and 1 strike. So Cueto returns tonight. Jeff Samardzija returns Saturday. And it'll be the first time the Giants will have Bumgarner, Cueto, Samardzija pitch in the rotation this entire year. Derek Holland will go to the bullpen. He's 5-7 on the season.
It's a funny thing for an offense, Dan. You know, you gear up for the Cueto you're used to facing.
Absolutely.
And now you don't get him.
As you mentioned, though, lesser stuff, but he's got a bag of tricks. We'll see if he can use all of them tonight. Whacked into center field by Tommy Pham. And the first 2 have reached for St. Louis. Pham had 3 hits last night. He started to come alive.
I talked to Tommy before the game in the Cardinals clubhouse, and he said, I'm getting there. I said, it looks to me like you're there. There is a there.
And it's been a while. It was 3 for 39 going into the game last night, but was taking better at bats last 4 or 5 games. And now Yadier Molina. Ground ball left side, finds a hole. That's a base hit. Carpenter is going to be held up, and the bases will be loaded for Marcell Ozuna.
I know it's tempting for Jose Oquendo to send Carpenter, who had a very good jump from second base. Ball was not hit hard, but it found a seam on the left side between the shortstop and the third baseman. And Jose Oquendo with nobody out, it's just too dangerous to send him in this situation.
And he's probably seeing the same thing that we're seeing: diminished velocity, not sharp stuff.
That's a good point. Very good point.
So let Ozuna have a crack at it here with the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the first. A walk and back-to-back singles. And strike 1. 88 miles per hour on that pitch.
That's his fastest fastball so far.
Speed range so far 88, 89, and then he's dropped to 81. And the 0-2 is tap foul. I'm not sure he's thrown a breaking pitch yet. Ozuna hits it off the end of the bat up the first base line. Cueto will tag out Ozuna, and it's 1-0 Cardinals as Matt Carpenter scores.
And there's no way, if you're Bruce Bochy, that you can pitch around any hitter. There's no way you can intentionally walk a hitter. You can see that that feeble look of Bochy turning around saying, my gosh, what's going on? And we're thinking the same thing, and really I think everybody here is.
He's throwing fastballs, and that's right up Jerko's alley.
Oh boy, yeah.
One of the better fastball hitters in the league. And that may have been the slider there. But you think about it, you throw the breaking pitch, the elbow, the issues, the pressure on the elbow when you throw a breaking ball. You can understand why he's been with the fastball primarily here early on. And the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's almost like Cueto was saying, I'd rather put him on. Neither of those balls were even close. But if you're Bruce Bochy, you can't walk anybody in the first inning when you're throwing 88 miles an hour.
The 2-0. That's taken low. 3-0. What is going through the mind right now? Bruce Bochy gets Cueto back, but this is not the Johnny Cueto we've seen in the past. 3-0 pitch to Jerko. Hits it out to deep right field. McCutchen looks up and it's gone. It's a home run for Jed Jerko. It clears the wall in right, swinging on a 3-0 pitch, and it's 4-0 Cardinals.
Not quite a splashdown, but good enough. Jed Jerko, one of the best fastball hitters in the National League, as Dan alluded to earlier. Boy, he waited on that one and conked it out in right field. My gosh. Whew. That had long ball written all over it. You don't see many guys go out to the opposite field in this ballpark.
And Munoz hits a fly ball to Hernandez to the edge of the track, and the catch made in center. For Jed Jerko, home run number 7. And now there's 2 outs and Colton Wong. Wong hitting 191.
It's funny, you go over a pitcher like this and you look at his past prowess.
And Wong shoots that in the gap in left center, and it drops in for a base hit. Boy, I don't know, Tim. I mean, you get to the point, and we'll get back to your point, but if you're Bruce Bochy, you're thinking, okay, I can maybe get him one more out, but if you got the 8th place hitter, then the pitcher, I mean, you're thinking bullpen already early in this game.
Absolutely, no question. 4 in the first for the Cardinals, you bet.
There's Harrison Bader, and a strike. That was 90 miles per hour on that pitch. You know, Bader's a guy that pulls off the breaking ball, but if he can't locate it, isn't throwing it all that much, it's right up his alley as well.
No doubt about it. I was thinking the same thing.
And Harrison swings through that changeup, and it's 1-2.
This is shocking, really. You know, because if Cueto were well enough to pitch, he'd be the Cueto that we're used to seeing. Maybe a mile or two difference in his fastball, but not this.
Two and two.
2 strikes on the batter. Colton Wong will try to get a little extra jump with the pitcher up next and 2 outs, which can lead you too far off the bag to where you're getting picked off. But if he were picked off in a situation like this, it would be more understandable because of that. He's trying to get a little extra jump with 2 outs. Pitcher up next.
28th pitch of this first inning. And Wong reads it on his way to second. Out.
Well, I thought the left hand was in there. Wong wants it checked already. I tell you, it's a very good play by Wong. It's a chancy play, but you got a 4-run lead. I don't know whether it's going to be looked at again or not. We'll see. Quick tag by Panic.
Awfully close.
Can't see the fingers under the glove, right?
You can see the bag move just a bit as his hand hit the bag. And it looks like, yes, they will. The Cardinals will challenge this play.
It's worth a jump by Wong. It's worth a challenge, I think. No, he missed the hand and got the elbow. That's the way I saw it. I think if I were Wong, I'd stay on second base instead of wandering over to first. Every little psychological ploy helps.
Well, the Cardinals had Jerko swinging on 3-0. The first home run on a 3-0 pitch by the Cardinals this year.
Is that right? That's great. Good going.
Bit surprising.
Yeah. To the opposite field, no less.
Yes. In a ballpark that about an hour ago the wind was really blowing in from right field. Second time that Jerko has done that on a 3-0 count in his career. Last time was in 2016. So Cueto just continues to throw. I think it's interesting that you challenge here because you've got the pitcher coming up, and if you are wrong, you lose the challenge. It's done. So it's something to think about too. I can see both sides of why you'd want to do it.
You put a guy in scoring position and let Bader take a hack. If they elect to walk him, then you clear the pitcher for the next inning.
Sure. See, watch the bag. Bag has a little movement here.
So he misses the hand and tags the elbow, but the hand was already on the bag. That's what I saw. I think that view from home plate was the best view.
While we have a moment, a happy birthday to Linda Wayman. Grandson Kyle works for the St. Louis Blues. Never misses a game. I think he's in there.
I do too.
Not enough to overturn it. And Wong shaking his head, and now Luke Weaver to the mound at the bottom of the first in a big inning for the Cardinals. It's 4-0 midway through one. Season high 10 hits, 8 runs in a 11-4 loss on Saturday against Atlanta. His last 5 starts, ERA is near 8, so they're trying to get him going in the right direction.
Well, Danny has all the impetus in the world, a 4-run lead to stay ahead. No 1-0 counts, no 2-0, no 2-1, no 3-1. Stay ahead of the hitters.
A switch hitter, Hansen at the top, followed by Posey and McCutchen, then Belt, Crawford, Sandoval, Panic, Hernandez, and the pitcher, Johnny Cueto. And a first pitch strike. Alan Hansen, a switch hitter. This side of the plate much better, 326 than the 167 from the right side. He's been a versatile player. He can play the infield and the outfield, and he's in left field tonight.
Got a little speed, 4 stolen bases, has not been caught. Pretty good little player.
And the 0-2 is rolled over towards first, taken there by Carpenter, and beats him to the bag.
Good start for Luke.
And let's turn to Tim McCarver's Toyota keys to the game.
And it should make him a little bit more aware of what he's got to work with as we look at think 7+. That's in innings, our Toyota keys to the game.
Buster Posey currently trailing Wilson Contreras in the All-Star vote. And it makes you wonder, where's Yadier Molina? Yadi has had a sensational season.
He's got to be on the All-Star team.
I agree.
Got to. Buster Posey has become a right field hitter. A lot of games caught. That'll do that to you. So now you pitch him more inside, and you play him really, the way I see it, as a left-handed pull hitter. Cardinals are straight away in the outfield. I think you shift him all the way around.
Inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dan, I think you're going to occasionally see Posey go down the line, the left field line, but it's going to be awkward if he does. He'll do it on a changeup. But for the most part, he hits the ball to right field.
Good changeup, 2-2. You know, when you get beat up and you're a young player, clearly there's a confidence issue. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a pitcher or a position player, and I think maybe we've seen a little of that with Luke Weaver. You know, you always hear the phrase, trust your stuff.
Even on that inside fastball, where does Posey go? To right field.
early on we saw him so aggressive.
That's part of the maturing process.
Yep.
Sure.
And the Giants trying to figure out their offense right now. They were just swept in Colorado. There's a pop-up left side. Munoz under it and makes the catch. Cardinals defensively around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Ozuna, Pham, and Bader in the outfield. Jerko, Munoz, Wong, and Carpenter on the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Giants come home, swept in Denver, scored just 3 runs in the 3 games. Here's Andrew McCutchen. Matter of fact, they have not had an extra base hit in their last 2 games.
That was after sweeping Arizona. So they swept them 3 and then coughed it up to the Rockies, who are back into everything in the National League West.
Driven to right, and there's Harrison Bader. And a 1-2-3 inning for Luke Weaver. It's Bader, Weaver, and Carpenter coming up. I've had a lot of people come up to me and question his effort and energy level. Those are things I can't defend. What I can defend is trying to create opportunities for him, but not if it's at the expense of someone that's out there hustling and playing hard. And that was on an interview that I did on the website scoopswithdannymac.com. And John is very gracious in visiting. We call it Mondays with Mo, and he does it every Monday. As Bader sends a fly ball into center. Dexter is back with the club today. He did address the media. John Mozeliak stressed he understands what fans are saying concerning their frustrations. Hopes the players do as well. He stressed there's time to win. It wasn't to single out Dexter or any specific player. Those two have spoken. My understanding is Bill DeWitt has spoken to him as well. And Dexter said, look, I'm just trying to get things right. I want to be in the lineup. To get things right, I have to play. But he handled it professionally, it seemed like, before the game.
Some would disagree. Now, I am a third party in this thing, but to me it was a fair question, a fair answer, and a fair response from Fowler, period. Game over.
The corresponding move is Tyler O'Neill. He goes back to the minor leagues. Matt Bowman, by the way, activated, but then option to Memphis, as the Cardinals are seeing their bullpen starting to come together. There's a little rhythm to it. Some good signs.
It's a good word.
That's back to Cueto, and this will be the second out. So 6 pitches and 2 outs, and we're back to the top of the lineup. And Matt Carpenter.
For those of you who may have missed the first inning, Johnny Cueto nowhere near the Johnny Cueto that the Cardinals are used to seeing. His first start since April 28th, and he has not thrown a lot of balls that have hit 90 yet, maybe 2.
And a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. John is extremely gracious with his time and trying to explain where the club is, and he does that every Monday. Also visits, and that's driven out to deep right center. It's at the wall and gone. It's a home run for Carpenter, and the Cardinals have a 5-0 lead.
Before the game, there were about 15 youngsters from St. Louis. They were in the age range of 10 to 13, and I asked this down there signing autographs, just kind of moping around, and I asked him, I said, see that corner out there where the BioFreeze sign is? Do you know what they call that? He said, yeah, Triples Alley. I said, how'd you know that? Well, tonight it's Home Run Alley for Matt Carpenter.
12-year-old saying that to Tim. Yeah, Tim, I know what that is.
He did. He said, yeah, Tim, that's Triple Alley.
And a strikeout of Tommy Pham as he just drops the bat and the helmet. Frustrated with that called third strike. Carpenter is up to 16 home runs. 5-0 St. Louis. For Yadier Molina, missed 26 games, and yet on the outside looking in for the All-Star game. With more on that, let's check in with Erica.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, today is the last day to vote for Yadier Molina to send him to Washington, D.C. for the All-Star game. He currently trails Wilson Contreras of the Cubs and Buster Posey of the Giants. Despite missing time with that injury you spoke of, the future Hall of Famer is putting up some of the best numbers of his career. So I spoke to some of the guys in the clubhouse earlier today about why Yadi might not be getting the love that he deserves. Of course, it's a surprise to everyone. They said he's put up the numbers and he's even missed time. It would have been fun to see what he could have done, the numbers he could have put up had he been healthy all year. He deserves everything that comes to him, guys.
We were talking about it before the game, Erica, up here in the booth. he deserves to go to the All-Star game.
Make a place for him. They expanded the roster about, what, 4 years ago or so to include guys like Yadier Molina, who may not be in the top 2 or 3 in the voting, but belongs there. Why? Common sense.
First of all, the numbers are there.
Right.
Secondly,
yeah, this isn't a gift.
This is a guy that's putting up numbers, but secondly, it's about the fans, and the fans would love to watch this guy play.
Yeah. 1,771 games, tied Ted Simmons last night in the desert. Every time he starts, he seems to either tie or break a record of some kind.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Brandon Belt. Inside and low, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 to Belt sends it in the air to center field, and Tommy Pham makes the catch. 4 up and 4 down for Luke Weaver. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app, access and manager tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Brandon Crawford will be the starting shortstop in the All-Star game, the way I see it. He deserves it. I can remember a conversation, we were talking about it before the game, Danny, that I had with Bruce Bochy in 2012. Crawford came up in 2011. He hit .204. And Bruce told me in 2012.
Hits it off the end of the bat, and that'll carry to Bader.
In 2012, Bruce Bochy said, you know, we were seriously concerned last year that this guy would not hit enough to warrant. Great glove, but he would not hit enough to warrant his everyday position at shortstop. Well, Bruce Bochy is glad to be proved wrong. All managers are in those situations.
Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitter, 6 home runs, batting .256. Boy, it just never made sense that he left San Francisco in the first place. They know him, he knows them. Seemed to be the right fit.
There are just some guys like that too that are glued to an organization.
Yes.
And any deviation from that organization is not right, and Pablo is one of them.
And he hits that foul and out of play. Big gap in right center. Talked about it last night. To get speed in your lineup playing in the National League West, be a big difference with the ballparks. San Diego here, Colorado. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout, the first of the night for Luke Weaver. Coming up for the Cardinals, it'll be Molina, Ozuna, and Jerko as a 3-run homer. Redbirds 5, San Francisco 0. 1, 8 Central in the morning. Then again in the afternoon, Brazil and Belgium at 1. Yadier Molina to short, handled by Crawford, who has 8 errors on the year, but great range, outstanding player, known for his glove, and makes the play. Marcell Ozuna. Tim, they just had a shot of one of the all-time greats in baseball history, certainly for both these franchises, and one of your dearest friends. Orlando Cepeda is here at the ballpark. First time he has been back to AT&T.
Since falling at his golf club in the San Francisco area. Charlie, his nickname was Charlie. He didn't like cha-cha.
Ozuna hits it out to right, and McCutchen will play it off the wall. They try to deke Ozuna, and sometimes you can deke an announcer too.
Well,
but not this guy. I know he did it to you, but not me.
You know what? He deked Ozuna. Ozuna wasn't running hard and ultimately got to second base, but he wasn't running hard. That was a good deke, I thought.
Really well done.
Orlando Cepeda, the most valuable player in the National League in 1967. That story, I'm retelling this story, but I'll try to make it brief. We were in New York waiting for the bus. Bus left at 5 o'clock, and Red said, "That's it, Bussy, let's go." Gibson was pitching against Seaver that night. And he said, "Wait a minute, Red, where's Orlando?" Red said, "He's not on the bus." And Bob said, "This bus is not leaving until Cepeda gets on it." And about 5 minutes later, Cepeda got on it, and we won that game 3-2 that night.
I don't blame
him. I don't blame him either. Bob loves to tell that story. The great Orlando Cepeda.
And Jerko waves at it and strikes out. Second strikeout for Johnny Cueto. We were talking Bob Gibson stories before the game with, well, maybe the greatest player in the history of baseball, Willie Mays. He's at the ballpark tonight. Amazing.
He's down with Mike Murphy, the trainer emeritus of the San Francisco Giants. I've known him since 1959. And he takes care of Willie, and Willie watches the games. About 100 a year, he told us. From the ballpark in Mike Murphy's office.
I took that picture today.
Oh, you did?
I
Good
did.
Going. I had no idea. Old 2 dozen. That's what Dick Grote used to call Willie Mays, because his number was 24. Could 2 dozen ever play?
Those fingernails still buffed. Beautiful. 660 home runs for Willie
It was
Mays.
the first thing I noticed, catching behind him, looking out toward the mound. His glossy nails. Remarkable.
Panic retires Munoz, and the Cardinals strand a runner after the 1-out double by Marcell Ozuna. 5-0 midway through 3. All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. It'll be Joe Panik, Gorkys Hernandez, and Johnny Cueto.
Joe Panik with surprising power. 4 home runs.
Gets underneath this one and sends a fly ball into right center. There's Bader with the catch. Here's Gorkys Hernandez. Well, you were saying as a catcher, and Willie Mays would step in the box, you noticed his fingernails buffed perfectly.
Right.
I notice when every time I shake his hand that my hand disappears.
The thickness of his hands is impressive.
I've never seen anything like that.
But you can imagine when he was a young man and you'd shake his hands, they were oversized in thickness, not in length. The fingers aren't long.
No.
But it just shows you the strength of the man.
He's telling a great story about Gibson going up against the Giants, and Red came out to visit, and he said he was screaming from the duck, take him out.
Take him out. He said, I don't care whether it's 9 to 8 or not. Take him out.
Get him out of here.
He can't pitch. Listen to me. Not your pitching coach. Another story, when Bob had dinner at his house, you folks may have heard this. He went over with Bill White. Willie answered the door, and he's got this real high-pitched voice, and Gibson does it just beautifully. He said, hey, Bill. He said, who's that? Meaning Gibson behind him, and Bill White said, that's Bob Gibson. Willie Mays said, you throw that hard and you wear glasses? You're going to kill somebody.
And I never heard him follow up that story. We brought it up to him today, and then he said the next day Gibson was pitching.
Yeah.
He said he whipped out a handkerchief and was wiping his forehead with the sweat, and he said, there's sweat in your eyes. Now you can't see. You liked my question to him.
Oh, I loved it.
I said, all right, Willie, who's better? Koufax, Gibson, who was tougher on you?
Willie shook his head and said, they were both.
Yeah, he didn't bite, did he?
No, he didn't.
He had a little smile and said, I got them both.
Oh, man.
It's amazing.
He's such a character to go along with the character as a human being and the character as a player. Any way you want to address Willie Mays, he is just a marvelous human being who added so much to the game. Willie Howard Mays from Birmingham.
Is he the best player you've ever seen?
Yes.
Could do everything.
Yes. He would be on second base, and I saw no other base runner do this. He'd be on second, and he would gauge how hard the ball was hit on a base hit and time it. His running from second to home, you never could throw him out. He was too fast. But he would time it to draw the throw from the outfielder, thinking that one time I've got a shot at Willie Mays. It never happened, and the runner who hit the ball ended up at second base.
That is amazing. Couple of strikeouts, 3 so far for Luke Weaver. The statue of the Say Hey Kid outside AT&T. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Missouri Baptist Medical Center. Doctors call it world-class medicine. You'll call it Mobap. And by Toyota. Let's go places. It's 5-0 St. Louis. Saturday, July 14th. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a limited edition bobblehead celebrating Adam Wainwright's Silver Slugger Award a year ago, courtesy of SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And that's Saturday, July 14th. Here's Colton Wong. He singled to left center, tried to advance in a wild pitch, and was thrown out by Buster Posey in a play that was challenged by the Cardinals but not overturned. And he puts it on the ground to Joe Panik. One away. Since joining the Giants, Cueto 2-0, ERA under 2 in 3 starts against the Cardinals. Overall, this is his 25th start against St. Louis. 7-8 in his career.
That's 2 organizations, Cincinnati and San Francisco. But never has he thrown this softly.
And Bader pulls it inside the third base line, and he'll race for second base with a double. Had a double last night, starting to pick it up offensively, and he's 1 for 2 tonight.
There's a young man with a golden smile, huh? Especially after a hit. Little slider hanging in the middle of the plate. Hit very hard past Sandoval at third for a double.
There's Luke Weaver. Grounded back to Cueto, first time up. Oh, 2. Tomorrow night, Derek Rodriguez will go for the Giants, and that's off of Cueto. Weaver hustling and a base hit. An infield hit. Runners at the corners now for the Cardinals.
Luke Weaver will take that all day, every day, trying to pad that 5-0 lead. That ball, I think, hit Cueto in the left thigh, the front of the left thigh. We'll see. I don't believe it hit the glove. Johnny trying to get Joe Panik on the ball immediately, but couldn't do it.
Here's Carpenter. Couple of runs scored. Solo home run into right center. Number 16, and walked and scored first time up. And there's strike 1. An incredible turnaround for Carpenter. Fights it off. Hit down the left field line, now in foul territory, and the catch made by Sandoval.
That was a good pitch to Carpenter by Cueto. You got to tip your cap sometimes. That ball in off the plate. Watch how Matt Carpenter is jammed. Sometimes you go out of the box when a guy's throwing. Usually you're used to seeing him throw 95, 96, and he's throwing 88 and 89. End up jamming yourself.
So runners at the corners now for Tommy Pham. Corey Guerin starts to throw in the bullpen of the Giants. They have 4 left-handers and 4 righties. You don't see 4 lefties very often.
I believe the Giants are the only team in the majors with 4 left-handed pitchers in the bullpen.
Here's the 0-1.
That was a hanger.
And Cueto just shaking his head a bit. 58 pitches. I'm sure they have a number in mind tonight. Nice play by Posey. Got 2 of the best catchers in baseball tonight. Buster Posey and Yadier Molina. Many ways the faces of their franchises too.
It's well put.
And the 1-2 in the dirt. Remember last time up, Pham called out on strikes on a pitch that was inside and didn't like it at all. Didn't look back at the home plate umpire, but his message was sent by just dropping his helmet and his bat. The 2-2 and a chopper that's hit to short. Crawford flips to Panic. Cardinals strand a pair.
Giants 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Harrison Bader makes his 50th start in right field tonight against the San Francisco Giants. I had a chance to catch up with Bader before the game today, and he said coming out of a tough home series against the Atlanta Braves, it was really positive to see it all come together against the Diamondbacks. He said the toughest thing to find in baseball is consistency. No surprise there. The offense is going to be there, and it was exactly what we needed to have the confidence in our starting pitching. He added that this season has been a big learning experience for him, getting to work with the coaching staff and all of the assistant coaches. And when you stop learning, that is when the game passes you by. Dan, Tim.
All right, Erica, thank you. My partner actually sat down with Harrison Bader. I guess it was a year ago at Wrigley Field?
A year ago at Wrigley Field for a half an hour.
He had read one of your baseball books, I believe, in particular on base running.
Baseball for brain surgeons and other fans. And his coach at the University of Florida was impressed with base running in that book. And he said if you want to read everything you know, or that everything you'd want to know about base running,
well, you're giving
then pick up that book. No, I'm trying to be. Quit it. I'm not.
Well, you love your book.
Well, you quit it, but the name of the book is Baseball for Brain Surgeons and Other Fans, and you can get it. And you can get it in paperback. Thank you. It's rare, but you can get it in hardback too. So anyway.
And you can download it on Kindle.
And you can download it on Kindle. Oh, that was so cheap, but thank you.
Here's Alan Hansen.
So cheap. So tacky.
But the info is pretty good in the book.
Info, yeah. Well, Harrison thought it was.
Yeah. Base running, the lost art of base running in many ways.
Everything I ever knew and found out about base running came from the Cardinals.
Into right, and there is Bader.
And primarily George Kissel and Dick Grote. Dick Grote is still alive and well at 88 years young, living in the Pittsburgh area. Most valuable player in 1960 for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Here's Buster Posey, popped out to short, first time up. So 1 out and nobody on. And a breaking ball drops in for a strike. A lot of first pitch strikes, which you talked about, so important coming into the start, and then certainly when you have a 5-run lead to be aggressive.
And yeah, he had a 4-run lead, and right off the bat he's retired 10 in a row. Perfecto so far.
He has made 2 starts against the Giants in his career. Last saw the Giants in September, and he beat Madison Bumgarner.
That was a game in which Harrison Bader hit a home run against Bumgarner.
And Bumgarner hit a home run against Luke Weaver.
That's right. 17 career home runs for Bumgarner.
It's amazing.
He goes on Sunday. It really is.
And a ground ball that is fair. The stretch and the pick by Carpenter.
Good play by Jerko. If Luke Weaver goes and pitches a perfect game, he'll think about this play right here. Jerko completing the play. He didn't know whether it was foul or not. Awkward throwing position, and Weaver's appreciative.
Andrew McCutchen fly to right. Came over to the Giants in the offseason. And McCutchen shoots it out to deep right field. Bader, though, with room, and he makes the catch. 12 up, 12 down for Luke Weaver.
All right, Scotty, thank you. 5-0 our score. And the 5th inning. Here's Yadier Molina. That's pulled foul.
3 times tonight, Yadi has gone for the first pitch. Won a base hit his first time up.
I do believe there is a scarf promotion coming up here in San Francisco.
That is correct.
That should be
tomorrow, I believe.
Right up your alley.
Why is that?
Why is that? What are you talking about? There's a base hit for Yadier Molina.
What do you mean? What do I mean?
You, at the beginning of the season, defined cold weather in St. Louis. You were the Red Baron.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, the
It's
reason
right up your
for
alley,
it,
man.
I was cold.
Well, I understand that, but I'm pushing the promotion for next year, and it will happen, and you will be happy.
There's here the ones tomorrow night, I believe, are a Krabby Crab or Crazy Crab. Close enough.
That could be a double play ball. 6-4-3 off the bat of Ozuna. Wait a minute, what? What kind of scarf?
A Crazy Crab scarf. They like their crab meat here in the Bay Area. What can I tell you?
So they're going to put crabs on the scarf.
Well, I think no. I don't know, but it has something to do with the crab.
Huh.
Might be on the arm. I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen some commercials. I'm not doing a lot to sell these crabs. Of course, I don't have to. Who's going to listen to our telecast and come out here tomorrow for a scarf?
Well, you've sold that well. The Giants are appreciative. Come on out for that one, whatever. Yeah, you know, that thing that keeps you warm and it's got a crab on it. Whatever. Ooh, what a cut there by Jerko.
Only in San Francisco would scarves be a giveaway in July.
That's true too. That's a good point.
As Mark Twain said, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco.
Except last year.
Right, when it was very, very
Man,
hot.
was it hot here. It's supposed to be hot this weekend. The 3-1 pitch. And Jerko draws the walk. So a 2-out walk. And the batter will be Munoz. Now the scarf promotion that I'm hoping that takes place next year would not be involved with a crab on it, but maybe your signature.
I would be honored to do that, and obviously if I think that's going to be all for Johnny Cueto. We're thinking that he had about an 80 pitch limit tonight.
That's a pitching coach, so you don't have Bruce Bochy there yet.
Pitching coach Kurt Young.
It's Ty Block. B-L-A-C-H, Block. Jack Buck used to always do that. If you listen to Jack Buck, he'd say the lefty Block. B-L-A-C-H. Not Blatch, Block. He'd always give you the name, how it's spelled, and then how it's properly delivered.
All he had to do was follow Jack Buck in everything he did.
Ooh, what a play here by Panic. At least keeps it on the infield and almost came up with a terrific backhanded play.
You had a double duck there. A duck by Cueto and a duck by Panic. We're talking about, hey, the crab in the scarf and the ducks. 2 ducks, one by Cueto, another by Panic. A base hit for Munoz.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You went from crabs to
Crabs
ducks.
to 2 ducks. One by Cueto.
It's gotten into you.
Ducks.
I'm going to get you with Willie Mays tomorrow, too.
If Willie can't make you happy, nobody can.
Good point. You know, it's old hat for me now to visit with Willie, but the first time I was floored, and I have to be honest with you, every time since, I'm still floored.
He is something.
It's amazing.
Oh, for his first 23 in the major leagues. That's hard to believe. Called up in 1951, and Leo DeRocher saw what a talent Willie Mays was, and Willie became his best friend.
Oh, I bet.
Or Leo became Willie's best friend.
Right.
Leo was one of the world's great front runners.
Here's a 1-2. Wong has a base hit tonight to left center. Also grounded out to second.
You got a left-hander warming up and a left-hander hitting, so you're not gonna bring the left-hander in to pitch to Bader, I wouldn't think.
And Wong got inside just enough, flips his bat. It's popped up on the infield, and Belt with the catch. Cardinals have left 5 on. We move to the bottom of the 5th. This ballpark.
No question. More than any other ballpark in the majors. Which makes it all that special for Jed Jerko to hit a ball out right field line on a 3-0 pitch.
Absolutely.
That was impressive.
Brandon Belt fly to center. There's Bader racing after it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, not only is Bruce Bochy maybe concerned with Johnny Cueto and the lack of velocity, and you never know, it probably will come back at some point, but not there tonight. You never know. But he's got to be concerned with his offense. I mean, 3 runs in Denver, of all places, in 3 games.
In Denver, right.
No extra base hits in 2 games.
And no hits, period, here.
There's Brandon Crawford. And a strike. 95 on the gun from Luke Weaver. Aggressive early in counts. Looks different tonight.
Lot 2, strike 1, didn't it, Ben?
Mm-hmm. And the 0-1 pitch to Crawford. Another fly ball. Bader with the catch.
Giants are hitting the ball to the wrong guy when they hit it to Bader.
Isn't that the truth? Don't miss the Budweiser Bash Tuesday, July 31st. New Budweiser Terrace, live music, new area of the ballpark. You can also purchase a theme ticket to Budweiser Bash on July 31st. Get a bobblehead and autograph from former Cardinal Larry Walker. Tickets at cardinals.com/budbash. Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitter, struck out his first time up. Now the Giants, even though they've struggled coming into this series, they've been very good at home. 14 and 18, or 14 of their past 18 they've won. So that stands out. And tonight starts 10 straight at AT&T. 4 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Cubs, 3 with the A's. So they won't be on a plane until after the All-Star break, July 23rd, when they go to Seattle. The travel for these teams, the Dodgers, Giants, certainly Seattle, much different than teams in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good at home. Winners of 14 of their last 18. Fouled back. That one caught Molina. Boy, I can't tell you how many times I say that one caught Molina, and he still stays in the game. It is time and again every single year.
You might say, well, it hit the glove, but the glove, the padding is unusual. It looked like the outside of the left hand, and even though it was gloved, it still hurt. Watch how the glove resonates after the foul tip goes off of it.
And the 1-2 pitch to Sandoval. Out of play. Think about it, Tim. These two teams, for about a 10-year period, they were the standard of the National League.
Right.
NLCSs, world titles. This will be the 8th pitch coming up, the longest at bat of the night for San Francisco. The 2-2. Fouled back.
Matter of fact, the Cardinals have never beaten the Giants in an NLCS. Since 2002, they've lost 3 times to the Giants. Giants world champions 2010, 12, and 14.
Two teams met all the way back in 1987. Jeffrey Leonard and one flap down.
One flap down.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat here by Sandoval. He's made him work, and this has really been the first time one of the Giants has gone deep into a bat with foul balls, made him work.
Good time for a changeup here after all those fastballs.
The 10th pitch of the at bat right here to Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah. That was a 3-2 curveball.
I don't think the scoreboard is right, and the Cardinals, I'm looking down at their dugout, they are saying that as well. There's some of the players that are saying, hold up, the count is not right.
Well, I thought it was 2-2 because I was going off the scoreboard.
And yeah, Mike Matheny just got the attention of the home plate umpire. There was confusion in the at bat up on the video board, and yeah, he's going to bring him back. That's right. It should be now, I believe, 3-2 now.
That's what I thought when I started my remarks, but then leave yourself nakedly open, saying, what are you talking about? That's a walk. But it wasn't a walk. What are the umpires doing? All umpires allowed the 4-ball count.
Fielding Colbreth is the home plate umpire. Now, our statistician he's saying, now wait a minute, it's 2-2 instead of being even 3-2.
I thought it was 3-2.
I did too, but.
And that's why I thought it was so unusual for Yachty to call a curveball with a 5-run lead on a 3-2 count.
So Sandoval puts back every piece of armor that he owns. A delay to put on the elbow.
Looks like a Spartan. Looks like a Spartan warrior out there.
The 3-2 fouled back. That was the 11th pitch of the at-bat. And another by Weaver. Got him. He struck him out. Went with the curveball. That's 4 strikeouts through 5 innings for Luke Weaver. He's sharp tonight.
When you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
New pitcher in, one of 4 lefties in the pen for the Giants. Ty Block. There's splits, and it's our Chevy called to the pen. We're in the 6th inning. Harrison Bader busy in right field tonight.
Well, I'll say 7 putouts. The major league record is 11, set by Tony Armas in 1982. That name is familiar. It should be. He was a good player for a long time in the American League. So conceivable, if Weaver continues to throw hard and continues to throw fly balls, that Harrison Bader, who has 7 putouts, could reach 11.
It's the 2nd most by a rookie this year. Lewis Brinson, 8 for Miami. Did that against Chicago in a 17-inning game. And he's got the 7 in 5 innings. Partner, I'm not sure it gets any better than this.
No.
Just look out the bay. Sun dropping. It is gorgeous here in San Francisco. Charging Crawford and a base hit, and Bader was running through the bag. If he turned, he would have been at second base. It's a leadoff base hit for Harrison Bader, his second hit of the night.
Now Bader zeroed in on getting to first base as Crawford tried to barehand it. It hopped over Brandon's right hand.
What a shot. So base hit for Harrison Bader. 2 for 3. Now Luke Weaver squares to bunt. Pushed it foul. And an infield hit back in the 4th inning. He's got 5 sacrifices on the year. What a shot again.
Beautiful area, isn't it?
Oh man, doesn't get any better. And Weaver trying to get the bunt down, and now it's 2 strikes, 1 and 2, shaking his head a bit. And this time he gets it down. Posey will go to first, and sacrifice number 6 for Luke Weaver. Matt Carpenter with a walk and a home run. This one to right center, one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. 420 feet, just over the wall. He's now up to 16 this year. Kubota Power Stats, most home runs per game, road games in the National League. A lot of that has been done by Yadier Molina. Molina, he's got 13 home runs, with 12 of those coming on the road.
12 of the 13 on the road, only 1 home run in St. Louis. I'll tell you, tonight I'm wandering by the batting cage, and who do I see in the batting cage with Matt Carpenter? Hitting right-handed. Hitting right-handed, yes.
During BP?
Yeah, during
BP?
No, prior to the Cardinals being out there taking BP, and I said, why are you doing that? And he said, there was something, I may have gotten it wrong, but there was he was balancing the left side of his body with the rib cage. Yeah, he was actually, he hit about 10 balls. I said, do you mind if I talk about it on the air? He said, of course not.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of a guy doing that.
I haven't. John Mabry, the batting instructor, was throwing balls behind the screen, and Matt wasn't swinging hard, but he was making contact, and he looked like a right-handed batter.
Really?
Yes.
Got to do some digging on that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
3-1. Statcast powered by AWS. Look at the spray chart. That's why you see Carpenter shifted again so much, nearly 85% of the time. 3-1. Now 3-2. A lot of room left side of the infield and outfield. And he stays away from the breaking pitch, just a bit low. And his second walk of the night. Phillips 66 ticket vouchers. They are back and they are better than ever. Fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more, and you can get a voucher for up to 50% off on up to 8 tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips 66. Strike one on Tommy Pham. Single to center and scored. Part of a 4-run first for the Cardinals. Struck out looking and grounded into a fielder's choice. The 0-1 inside. When you see Tommy Pham starting to go to right field, like many hitters, they let the ball get a little bit deeper, which is what he was talking about last night. Swinging the bat much better.
I'll tell you, it's odd for the left fielder, Alan Hansen, to be that far over into left center field. They're giving Tommy Pham all of left field into the position from the line over. He's more in left center than straightaway position.
There it is, base hit into right field. Bader will score easily. Carpenter on his way to third. And Pham makes it a 6-0 St. Louis lead.
And that's your shot. That's what you were talking about, Danny. Tommy Pham. Certainly the best way to stay out of a double play is to hit the ball to the right side if you're a right-handed batter. The reason for that is it's a lot easier for a 6-4 double play to be pulled off than a 4-6 double play. Tommy Pham hitting it toward the hole. Carpenter goes to third easily. Pham more easily scores. And the Cardinals extend their lead.
And Molina hits it out of play.
4 times hit it swinging at the first pitch. Yachty tonight.
Runners at the corners, and the 0-1 is pulled foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
You know, funny thing, Dan, Luke Weaver obviously has a perfect game. He's retired 15 in a row, so we've said it and that's it. But if the Cardinals extend their lead, there's no way Mike Matheny can give Yadier Molina a rest.
No.
Until the perfect game is consummated. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
And that is not too early to be thinking about things like that. Traveling last night, the team arrived about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Be the perfect time were it not for the fact that Luke Weaver's got a perfect game.
Now Ozuna with runners at first and third. It's an out of play. Marcel picked up a double off the wall in right, back in the third. And that was his first extra base hit since June 25th. Derek Holland, the former starter, now in the pen, a lefty throwing for the Giants. And the 0-1. Again, a nice play by Posey. Sometimes they say it's textbook, but just keep it in front, some way, somehow.
Well, the fastball's always tougher to block in the dirt than a breaking ball. A breaking ball, you're anticipating it going in the dirt, not a fastball.
The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Jed Jerko at the on-deck circle. Cardinals already with 12 hits tonight, 6-run lead. And Ozuna a chance to add to it. And the 3-2 driven up the middle. 7-0 Cardinals. Pham was running on the pitch. He winds up at third. Carpenter scores for the third time tonight. And Ozuna picks up RBI number 45.
More runs the Cardinals score, the more everybody in a red sweatshirt and uniform is thinking about the perfect game. Everybody. 7-0 now. Pham on at third and only one out, and Jerko up.
And Jed backs away from a ball inside.
Everybody. Tell you, part of our job is to inform everybody of a perfect game and then call your friends and tell them so our ratings go up. And Dan and I keep a job.
That's in question anyway, but I get your drift.
Thank you.
Well, you're just trying to get everybody fired up, aren't you?
Oh, sure, you bet. We have no control over it up here. I've always thought that was the dumbest.
You called a perfect game.
I did. David Cohn, July 19th, 1999. Yankees in Montreal, of all teams.
So when did you start talking about it?
The third inning. After he retired 7 in a row.
So, did you think you jumped the gun a little bit on that one?
No. Felt pretty comfortable with it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it with Bobby Mercer.
Oh, man.
So the point is, it doesn't make any difference what we say in the booth. That jinx stuff.
Giants will have Panic, Hernandez, and a pinch hitter coming up as Jerko tries to add to it. Out to deep left. And that ball is down. One hops off the wall. One run is in, and here comes another. Ozuna to the plate and scores. And what a night here for Jed Jerko. He is driven in 5.
A 3-run home run in the first and an RBI double here in the 6th inning. Both Pham and Ozuna score. Cardinals now up 9-0.
This will be a double switch now. Crawford coming out of the game. Hunter Pence will go to left. You can put Hansen. We mentioned that he can play either the outfield or the infield. That'll be it for the lefty. Holland comes in when we come back. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Our Chevy call to the pen takes us to the lefty, Derek Holland. Swung on and missed by Munoz. 9-0 Cardinals. Johnny Cueto went 5. Blocked 2/3 of an inning, roughed up. 4 runs and counting. And now Derek Holland. That's it out of play. The changes defensively for the Giants, part of the double switch. Pence in left. Hansen moves from left to short. And Holland, the new pitcher, and Pence will go in the 9 spot in the lineup. And Holland will go into the 5 spot. And a strikeout of Munoz. 9-0. All eyes right now on Luke Weaver. And the rest has been outstanding. No hits. There you go. I'm joining you. No walks. No runs.
No
and we're in the
base runners.
6th inning. 9 of 15 first pitch strikes. Here's Joe Panic. Make it 10 of 16.
Good job by Yachty too. A curveball will start off. Panic not allowing a 9-0 score deter the fact that you still got a perfect game.
One ball, one strike. Panic fly to right, first time up. The 2-1. Lined into center. Pham is there. Makes the catch. Let's take a look at our Budweiser What's on Tap. And it's John Gant tomorrow against Derek Rodriguez, the son of Pudge Rodriguez. Off to a good start. He's 3-1. Gant is 2-3. We're on the air at 8:30, and your Budweiser What's on Tap.
Derek Rodriguez, the son of his famous father, who was in Miami recently, Dwayne Kuiper, telling us a story before the game. He said, yeah, it was really weird that Rodriguez was pitching in Miami. The Giants lost 3 games in a row, and it took them 16 innings to win Game 4. So they averted the sweep. But Pudge Rodriguez was behind home plate, and Dwayne said, I wonder if his father's giving him signals.
Calling the game.
Calling the game, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Is that weird?
Yeah. Here's a 1-1. Had him out in front, and it's 1-2. The Chevy Fox tracks. Think about how many times Pudge probably got behind the plate to catch his son.
Oh,
I mean, you know, he knows him as,
yeah, that's a great point.
As well as anybody. Here's a 1-2, and a ground ball hit left side. Diving stop by Jerko. And Hernandez is aboard. It's a base hit, and you wonder if Jed lets that go, if it could have been an out.
Well, Munoz has the arm. He has as good an arm as any shortstop in the National League. But he was so deep. Had that ball gotten by Jerko, I don't think Munoz can make the play. Everybody here at AT&T Park, as the ball slips out of Jerko's hands, and momentarily, a guy who's had a great offensive night would exchange one of those hits for a play that was completed by him there.
Here's Hunter Pence with 1 out. It is ruled a base hit for Hernandez. Perfect game gone. And a strike.
And no hitter gone, of course. But it does allow, and you can feel the wheels turning. Mike Matheny thinking, well, is this a good game to give Yachty a rest? Put Pena in the game.
I'm officially blaming you, Tim. This was completely your fault.
Take it. I'll accept that.
It's all on your shoulders.
But I talked about it the inning before also. So what about that? Does that count? Is there like a time limit?
No, that was different. Yeah, that was different.
So it's not a time limit. It doesn't have to happen immediately after you say that he's got a perfect game going.
I mean, you were dying to get it out there and just rub it in, right?
I don't think I was dying to say that, but I've always considered it foolhardy to not talk about a no-hitter if a guy's got one. This is supposed to be a civilized society, Dan.
Understood. Understood.
This is not the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae. 300 Spartans to
playing Monopoly.
To stop. No, Thermopylae. Thermopylae.
Got it.
Great Greek nation. As a result, the winners and Western civilization was saved, my friend.
You know,
he was against Xerxes,
our buddy Jim,
Persian leader.
Buddy Jim Hayes loves to say the story that with you that Jim's probably watching, but out of the blue, apparently one day in the clubhouse, you guys were just kind of hanging out, ready to talk to some players, and hey, Jim, did I ever tell you about the Peloponnesian War?
Peloponnesian, good going.
Yeah,
nice going.
Read a pretty good book on that.
Gates of Fire.
So let me tell you about it. Jim was stuck talking to you about it. There's a high fly ball into deep right, and it carries out of here. It's a home run for Alan Henson. Well, 6 of his home runs have been from that side of the plate. It's 9-2.
Looks like a high changeup from Luke. That's one ball that Harrison Bader can't catch. He has 7 putouts to his credit during this game.
The pitch taken up by Buster Posey. Popped out to short and grounded out to third. But you really did intrigue Jim with that conversation.
I hope so.
Another fly ball. This one to Tommy Pham. So the 2-run homer hit by Hansen. And 6 innings in the books. Giants get on the board, and it's 9-2.
Where 300 held off a million. It's a fact. Reason for the applause here at AT&T Park is someone has just accepted a marriage proposal with a huge diamond.
This is the Honda home run inning. Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. I like how you don't think it's 2 young people in love and coming together here at the ballpark. You're looking at the diamond.
Well,
it's about the rock, baby. That's hit the other way and a base hit. Some changes now for the Giants as Hansen goes back. He's in left field. No, it's Jackson in left field.
Ajax.
And then Pence is in right. And Hundley's catching. So Jackson in left, Pence in right. Hansen is at short. He stays there. And Hundley is behind the plate.
No relation to Todd Hundley, a very, very good catcher in the major leagues. Good catcher with power.
Do you know his dad well?
Oh, very well. Todd Hundley, one of the first catchers.
And Bader hits it a ton into center field. At the wall, and it is gone. 2-run homer, Harrison Bader, and he's a triple away from the cycle.
And he will be almost guaranteed another at bat. And he would be the likely guy who needs a triple and gets it to complete a cycle because he can run as well as he can.
And in this ballpark,
yeah, triple alley.
Yep.
He's not a big guy, but he's very compact. His build. which allows him to hit balls that far.
Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri thanks to Harrison Bader. Weaver is sacrificed. He's also singled and grounded out. Well, the Cardinals, you think about the right field spot, and it's been combined, whether it's Fowler, Martinez, Bader, O'Neill, some of the others, a spot that just has not generated a lot of offense. You can't say that tonight. And then you think after a night like this evening, you can't take Harrison Bader out of the game, certainly not tonight. But then looking ahead to tomorrow, and my point where I'm trying to go with this is, where do you get the at-bats for Dexter Fowler?
Sure. And it's a tough job for Mike Matheny, for John Mozeliak. We tried to cover that in the early innings. It's tough. It's tough to improve if you're Dexter Fowler when you can't play.
And a strikeout of Weaver.
And it's tough to play him over a guy who will have the proper amount of rest tomorrow night off a game where he has a single, double, and a 2-run home run.
And also you think about his speed and defense being a factor in this ballpark.
Right.
Strikeout of Weaver, second for Holland, who took over in the 6th. Here's Matt Carpenter. Carpenter with 3 runs scored tonight, pair of walks and a home run.
Everybody in the Cardinal lineup has at least 1 hit in this game.
Tim, it has been an odd year for the Cardinals, where sometimes you look and you say, well, looks like the season has no flow to it. It's going south. Things don't look good. You're going to face an ace.
All of those things are true right now.
And in the 7th inning, it felt like that last night, until Jairo Munoz hits a home run against Hirano, who's been
to tie it,
unhittable. Pham comes up with a hit and an RBI. And then it was a 3-run homer by Molina. And things you say, well, now you just took 2 of 3 on the road against a first-place team. You come in here tonight. Luke Weaver looks back on track.
You're playing a team that's red hot here at home. 14-4, their last home record.
It's a difficult team to figure out, is what I'm saying.
No, absolutely. That is a fair statement.
The 2-2 pitch.
An expression in baseball, though, you got to hang with them.
Yeah.
And boy, is that ever true.
And the other one.
Give it a chance to turn, though.
It's the big leagues, man.
It is the big leagues. That is correct. No higher league in the world than this one that you're watching tonight.
A swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Carpenter. Back-to-back Ks. So back-to-back strikeouts, and now Tommy Pham. And Pham an RBI single in the 6th inning, and 2 base hits tonight, 2 runs scored.
Tommy is and should be a greedy hitter in situations like this. This guy does not want to give away an at-bat ever, and he shouldn't. That's how you become a guy with the credentials of Tommy Pham, even though he's tailed off recently.
1 ball and 1 strike. Bader a triple away from the cycle. The 2-1 pitch and a check swing foul. Name of Derek Holland may ring a bell for Cardinal fans. We saw him in the 2011 World Series. He was pitching at that point with Texas.
Oh, good going. Wow.
And pitched well. Went 1-0 with a .87 ERA in that World Series. Strikeout of Pham. And it's time to stretch. Harrison Bader with a home run. Now up to 6 and a triple away from the cycle. They have a lead of 11-2. This will be Austin Jackson. Francisco Pena is the new catcher. Yadier Molina's at first base. Dexter Fowler in the ball game in right. And Harrison Bader moving from right to left. And the 0-1 pitch to Jackson. Ground ball chopped to short. Munoz with it. So Yadi moving from catcher to first. Bader right to left. And Dexter Fowler in the game in right field. And Francisco Pena, the new catcher. Here's Brandon Belt. And a shift for Belt on the right side of the infield. Well, I mentioned that Holland goes from their rotation to the bullpen, so you can get some length out of him tonight. Cover the rest of your pen. More than likely cover the rest of your game. He's at the on-deck circle. And we've seen Weaver throwing strikes, aggressive in counts, a lot of fly ball outs, using his defense. That's exactly what the Cardinals needed.
Excuse me, Dan. That's what we were talking about in the open tonight. Don't look for just 6 innings out of young pitchers. Go beyond that. Say, if you want to pitch a complete game, go ahead and pitch a complete game tonight. Give him the freedom and confidence to go ahead and do that. If you say, go ahead and give us a good 6, he's less inclined to give you 6 than if you say, give me 7.5, then you might get 6. That's the point. Go beyond what you've been telling him. Very important.
Lifted to center, and Tommy Pham. The Brown and Crouppen Cowboy ad just for you, Tim, and it's coming up July 13th. That's a Friday. Cardinals.com/promotions. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
You'd like one of those hats, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
I'll get you one. Now you realize you have to wear it for one of our opens.
All right. You got a deal. Is
Yeah,
that
no
all you're
problem
doing, though? Giving me the hat to wear in an open?
What else do you want?
$1,000.
They want money too.
Oh, just kidding.
If someone asks, you just, well, yeah,
decorate the mahogany, as Joe Schultz used to say.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. Cardinals more than likely with a roster move tomorrow. Paul DeYoung is here with the club, took BP and was on the infield taking ground balls, assortment of work.
Thing about it is Munoz has been swinging the bat so well.
I mean, it's a tough decision.
It really is.
Depending on what direction they go. Now Munoz can play the outfield, and that gives you
true
flexibility with him, but we'll find out, I'm sure, tomorrow. And a strikeout for Weaver, number 6 tonight. He's allowed just 2 hits and 2 runs, and he's through 7. Lines dirty, sweaty, nasty cap. Thing was gross. That one's not much better. But to each their own.
It's not Steve Klein, is it?
I don't think so. Who, by the way, worked in the minor leagues for the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. You had pitching coach somewhere?
To AAA. It's Sacramento.
So that might be Steve Klein.
I don't think that's Steve Klein.
Well, might be. Of course, why would he be wearing a St. Louis cap if he works for the Giants?
And working
That's
as
not real smart.
Is the pitching coach in Sacramento.
Yeah, no. Okay.
It's a reach, but I get it.
Looks like Steve Klein's first cousin to me.
It really does. It does have a little look of Steve Klein.
Steve Klein fired from the San Francisco Giants for wearing a Cardinal jacket and the dirtiest hat in the history of the Cardinals.
We actually had the Steve Klein dirty hat giveaway in St. Louis.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
It was a packed house, too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He was a fan favorite in town. One of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah. Great.
2 balls and a strike on Yadier Molina's at first base now. I was told of a story. You were at fantasy camp last week, is that right?
Correct, at Cooperstown, yes.
Cooperstown. And,
about 10 days ago.
And you had donated your mitt after Steve Carlton's 19 strikeout game. There's a base hit.
September 15th, 1969.
So with the Cardinals.
Steve Carlton struck out, was the first to strike out 19 in a game in the history of the game.
And you donated that mitt?
I donated my mitt. I had not felt that mitt. I saw it. I've seen it behind the glass.
And you put it back on.
I put it back on.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was. I got some strange feelings.
I bet you did.
That. My left hand is not what it once was, but so what?
That is awesome.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was some feeling.
You know, usually not. And I mean this sincerely, they treat it with kid gloves. I mean,
I had to wear white gloves.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. I actually put it on over the white glove.
Okay.
For my left hand, and had to wear one in my right hand too.
That is neat.
Yes. Yeah, it's white glove treatment for all of the artifacts in the Hall of Fame.
So you hadn't put that on for almost 50 years.
I had not seen it for well. Next September 15th,
50 years.
Will be 50 years.
Wow. That's great. And Fowler strikes out. That is not your glove.
No, that is not my glove. Catcher's mitt, Tom. Catcher's mitt.
Now the mitts have really changed over the years too.
Oh yeah, that was wasn't the first time that it came out, but we talked about Todd Hundley earlier. He was the first catcher to use the break in the glove. I believe it was 1966.
When you say a break in the glove,
we're
right there,
moving right there to where the mitt is more like a first baseman's mitt. You can catch the ball. If I could telestrate that, I don't have a telestrator.
And a liner into right, drops in for Jed Jerko. Boy, he's had a big night. He's now the triple away from the cycle.
But anyway, that break in the mitt made things, I mean, it's hard to believe that some of those mitts we caught with, they were dangerous for the opposite hand. And the reason for that is the opposite hand was what closed the ball, because you had to use two hands to catch the ball. That exposed the fingers, the tips of the fingers that would be split as the hands coming over to make the transfer. Did I explain that right?
Yes. I think if anybody would go back, for instance, the final out of 67 and also the final out in Gibson's first game against Detroit in 68.
17 strikeout.
Yeah, there's the shot of you with both hands on the mitt catching that final strike.
I was trying to get used to the split of the mitt.
into right, and oh, what a play here by Hunter Pence to rob Jairo Munoz. Nice play.
That's a fine play for a guy who just came in the game, or for anybody. Hunter Pence moving to right field. Good play. Yep. Yadier Molina has to backtrack, thinking that ball was going to be a tweener.
Here's Colton Wong. I think you did the same thing with Gibson's 3,000th strikeout. I remember seeing your both hands come together with catching that final strike.
Maybe by that time, I think that was 73.
It was,
I believe. But I'd grown. I was actually back with the Cardinals and was catching behind Ted Simmons. So you're not going to play that many games with Simba behind the plate. He's one of the best hitting catchers in the history of the game. But I did catch Bob occasionally. I think that's all for Luke, huh? No?
No one's up in the pen, so makes you think that maybe he had to go take care of something with his equipment.
And he was cleaning his shoes. He wouldn't clean his shoes to take them in the clubhouse. Unless he didn't tip the clubhouse guy that much. Only kidding, Luke. Listen, you could say anything you want to Luke tonight.
Oh, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. 11 runs on the board.
And that's pulled foul. Cardinals with 18 hits. Weaver, by the way, has gone 7 innings 4 times. And the last time was back on the 22nd of May. So he needed this start. That was against Kansas City.
Absolutely. Big start for Luke tonight. And it's not one of those games where he got a ton of run support. He did get 4 in the first, and that started him off. But good play by Brandon Belt to end the inning. Sorry, Barney.
I just do the rest.
All right.
Bag, and then the kids will take home a Fredbird hooded towel presented by the Pasta House, and that's July 15th, the Sunday. Cardinals.com/promotions. So Luke Weaver pitching into the 8th inning. Pablo Sandoval, first pitch swinging, and a fly ball to Tommy Pham. 1 away. That will help his cause if Mike Matheny is in the back of his mind thinking Can we get now 5 more outs out of Luke Weaver? I'm sure they're talking about it right now.
Yeah, if this is a 5 or 6 pitch inning, maybe. He's got 84 pitches, but I mean, to me, the judge that you might want to use instead, and I'm not disagreeing with Mike on this, but the only thing that can happen to Luke right now, in my view, is something bad. If, for instance, the Giants get 2 runs, it means nothing to the Giants, but it means a lot to Luke Weaver. So you have to weigh the bad things in leaving him in and the good things. And I think the bad things outweigh the good things. That's the way I look at it.
Here's a 1-1 to Panic.
That guy gets a walk or a base hit and a home run, and he gives up 2 runs. That's a big deal. Giving up 4 runs by Luke Weaver is a big deal on a night like tonight because he's pitched brilliantly.
2-1, had him out in front. And a flip to Weaver for the out. Pitches by inning for Luke Weaver. He's been very efficient. And
he's been the pitcher tonight, Dan, that he was last year.
You know, the 5th inning was when Sandoval was up. He had 15 pitches. 10 of those were to one batter, Sandoval. So I mean,
that's a good point.
You know.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a 12 pitch at bat, so he got 2 outs on 3 pitches. And I agree with your assessment. This is more the Luke Weaver of last year, spring training earlier this season. Cardinals needed this. He needed this. Gorky's Hernandez had the first hit for the Giants, infield hit back in the 6th inning.
You know that this is the 8th organization for Gorky's Hernandez. 8. He had no home runs last year. He has 11 this year with half the season left. Guy could end up with 30 home runs. Maybe if he plays every day.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. It was really an interesting play back in the 6th inning. Hernandez was up. And I'm sure Jed will be asked about it, and probably Luke Weaver, and he'll say, no, I appreciate the effort, the dive to the left, but went to his left, dove for it, came up with it, couldn't get a grip on the ball, and that was your infield hit. The first allowed by Weaver, who then later gave up the 2-run homer to Hansen.
Even if Jed doesn't drop the ball or lose the handle on the ball, it was going to be a tough play at first base, I think.
Very tough play. 2-2 pitch. And he went. Strikeout of Hernandez. 7 strikeouts for Luke Weaver. Sends us to the 9th. It's 11-2. MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, going further so you can. Watch this handshake, and Weaver, by his reaction, saying, come on, let me get the final 3 outs.
Playfully saying to Mike Matheny, this might be the closest that I get.
So now some intrigue with this plate appearance. Harrison Bader, the triple away from the cycle. In a ballpark that sees its fair share of them. 0-2. A double in the 4th, infield hit in the 6th, 2-run homer in the 7th.
I'd let him hit here. Why not? You're not showing up the opposition. A 9-run lead, but you're doing it for an individual accomplishment of a player.
And a swing and a miss. Jose Martinez. So Martinez will pinch hit for Luke Weaver, who was tremendous tonight. Brett Cecil throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. And a ground ball that's hit to the right side. Take a look at our Budweiser plays of the game. The home runs hit by the Cardinals. On a 3-0 pitch, Jed Jerko, an opposite field shot. Matt Carpenter, deepest part of the ballpark. Number 16. And then Harrison Bader to center. You earn your home runs here.
Every bit of it. Every foot, every inch.
Here's Francisco Pena.
That was Jack Flaherty congratulating Luke Weaver. Jack goes on Sunday against Madison Bumgarner.
It's going to be a fun matchup, those two.
Yeah.
A couple of guys with some nasty streaks.
Mm-hmm. See Flaherty flipping that ball. You see starting pitchers in particular who fool with that because of spin, leverage on the changeup. That's a changeup grip. They go through that all through the season and often during the off season. That baseball better be your friend, because if it's not, it becomes a friend of the hitters. You don't want that.
And a swing and a miss. Holland with 7 strikeouts. Comes into the ball game here in the 9th inning for St. Louis. Our Chevy called to the pen. Now Brett has been pitching much better here lately.
Last month or so.
He's getting more appearances. With that, the velocity has had a little bit of an uptick. And I asked him the other day, I said, what are you seeing? Why has it been better? And he said, one, getting more of a rhythm, having a chance to pitch, which has been good.
And understandable.
Yes. And he also said he picked up a mechanical flaw in his delivery, which has helped with his curveball, which has been a little bit sharper here lately. Velocity has picked up. A harder break with his curveball as Hunter Pence flies out to center.
Did he tell you what that was? Or that's a good curveball right there to Pence.
I actually told him, I said, look, it's good enough for me. We don't need to discuss that on the air. That's your business. I get it.
Sure.
Some guys divulge that, others don't.
Some guys divulge that and don't mind if you talk about it on the air. Some don't want you to talk about it. Some don't divulge it to keep you from talking about it, which is fine.
Yeah,
absolutely. Their livelihood.
You bet. And a ground ball that's hit to short. Munoz fires a strike to Molina. Luke Weaver, the story tonight, at least one of them. 8 innings, 2 runs on 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Tim's key to the game. Go deep into the game. For us, looking at some of the numbers, he struggled getting through a 3rd time of a lineup. That was not the case tonight.
That's right.
Here's Nick Hundley. He had never gone 7 innings or more without walking a batter until tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Hundley.
That new metric, run differential, blah, 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 as far as I'm concerned. Scores 11-2 tonight. The Giants come back and win 2-1 tomorrow. The run differential will be 12-4. Cardinals on top. That's one of the more nonsensical metric comments that I can think of. Nonsensical is the perfect term for run differential, and for anybody who thinks that baseball players care about that. You know what this is to the Cardinals? It's great for Luke Weaver. The offense picked it up. The Giants it's a game lost. They could care less about run differential, and believe me, they could care less.
And a grounder that's tapped foul.
Some of these metric things are just nonsense. And some of the people that believe those will not allow you to argue your point and to get your point across. And that's bothersome.
Two and two. So a clean game tonight for the Cardinals. No errors. The 2-2 pitch by Cecil. Got him. It ends with a strikeout. And this game comes to a close. And the Cardinals, an 11-2 win behind 18 hits, and Luke Weaver sensational here in game 1.
One of the better games that the Cardinals have played all year long. To help the right people. Good feel-good game for the Cardinals.
And with that, we head to Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. The post-game show, 11-2, the Cardinals over the Giants.